A derelict boat that has been anchored in Cowichan Bay for the past 3 years is likely going to be there for a bit longer. The Dominion 1 is listing, and some people in the area say it's an environmental disaster waiting to happen. They say the boat's owner isn't doing enough to keep the vessel from sinking or breaking loose in a storm. They want to take matters into their own hands now. A news reporter Jonathan Bartlett is in Nanaimo. He has the details. Jonathan?
Eric, the Dominion 1, formerly known as the Fukuyoshi Maru No. 1, is a 46-meter vessel that suddenly appeared in Cowichan Bay about 3 years ago. Today, for the first time, we were able to speak to the boat owner, who says there's no need for concern. The eclectic mix of recreational and working boats in Cowichan Bay is part of what gives this village character. But there's a certain vessel that's being called a blight by some, an environmental disaster waiting to happen by others.
We don't know exactly what's on board and how much fuel there is, and it's a very large steel vessel.
That could do a lot of damage if it broke loose in a storm. The 46-meter Dominion 1 came to these waters 3 years ago, towed here by a prospective buyer. It became a home for pigeons and a target for thieves and vandals. Last summer, there were reports the ship was listing. Many were concerned she would sink and pollute the bay and its estuary.
There's a lot of urgency and a lot of unknowns, like what is on there. There was barrels floating around, you know, a lot of that. So that's the problem.
Reached by phone from Oregon, the ship's owner, Robert Hall, says the Dominion 1 poses no environmental or safety risk.
It's a bunch of disgruntled old maids or something. There's no problem whatsoever with it sinking. I've had it surveyed, I've had it painted on the bottom and all the valves checked out and everything done. It's not an environmental hazard at all.
But the CVRD electoral area director for Cowichan Bay says she wants permission from the owner to have diesel fuel and oil pumped from the ship.
We have no jurisdiction over that, and so we do once it sinks, but why do we wait for that to happen?
Whether it poses an environmental risk or not, people who live here say they're tired of Cowichan Bay being used as a dumping ground for other people's junk.
A few years ago, a Washington Highway bridge appeared in the bay. A salvage company wanted to do recycling work. That is until public outcry forced the owner to tow it away.
We need to show the community and other people that decide to, you know, purchase boats at auctions and that type of thing, and, you know, have them sitting there, that's just not going to be acceptable in our community.
The Dominion 1's owner says he won't be giving permission to pump out fuel from the vessel. He says the ship should be sold soon.
People don't have to worry anything about it environmentally. We're going to take care of it one way or another, hopefully within a month.
If a buyer isn't found, it will be sold for scrap. The ship's owner also told me he's employed a local man to keep an eye on the boat and report back to him. He says it's not sinking and is listing because some fuel in tanks on one side of the vessel was stolen. And if you're in the market, the ship's quite a bargain. Hall says he let it go for $200,000 American. Eric?
We'll see what happens. Jonathan Bartlett in Nanaimo. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.